My name is Shavonne Wong and I'm a fashion, beauty and advertising photographer based in Singapore. I've shot for 9 years now and worked with brands such as Lancome, Sephora and also magazines like Cosmopolitan Hong Kong. And in this tutorial, I want to show you how to get started in fashion photography.
Every once in a while, scrolling through the F-Stopper's website, you'll see some work that just stops you in your tracks. And for me, one of the photographers that consistently does that time and time again is Shavonne Wong.
For the first few years when I was trying to start my photography business, I was very interested in fashion photography. And although I never became the famous fashion photographer that I dreamed I would one day be, I learned probably more shooting fashion than any other genre of photography, and all of the things that I learned shooting fashion have helped me become successful in different genres. Everything that I learned about lighting still applies to family portraits and weddings and product photography, and of course, everything that I learned about retouching also applies.
To be a great fashion photographer, you have to understand how to use lighting to create mood, how to use the light itself to support the concept you have in your head, and also importantly, you have to be able to communicate well with a team and work well with them. In this tutorial, I'm going to teach you how to do each one of those things.
Shavonne is from Singapore, and that's where her business is, that's where all of her clients are, but we wanted to film this tutorial in New York City. She didn't know anyone there, but she was able to source an entire team online only, and she wants to include in this tutorial how she did that and how she found such a professional group of people.
Now I want to talk about how Sue and I came up with the makeup look that we have on for Talia right now. When I saw Talia's con card, I could see that she had really nice tan skin and that she looked really nice with also sleek black hair.
And I pick up from that idea as well, and I also talked to the stylist, Julia, and then she had an idea of very structural, tailored pieces.
So this is one of the biggest trends of the current season, and knowing our model, Talia, knowing she's very tall, she has beautiful body, nice proportions, so that's why I suggested you that it's going to be the best choice for our today's project.
Now in this tutorial, Shavonne works with really experienced models, but she also takes the time out to show you how you can bring out the best in your own models regardless of their own experience level.
If I want Lede facing all the way to the left, on camera all you can see is actually just the eye whites. Now this is not a very flattering look. I will probably tell Lede, keep your eyes maybe to the light instead while keeping this pose, and this way you get a lot less eye whites and it looks a lot better.
Now with fashion photography, you can really go crazy in the lighting realm. You can add so many lights it gets overwhelmingly complicated. But in this tutorial, Shavonne starts with some of the most basic, simple lighting techniques that you can use that are classic and timeless and will work in almost every situation.
So this is about where I want my fill light power to be at. As you can see, this fill light is very different from the others as it is given a softer, wider spread. It also fills up the background quite a bit more. Now this is a very useful tool for exploring new lighting setups. I remember once I was shooting Cindy Bishop and she's a host for Asia's Next Top Model and she's this really powerful, strong lady, and in my photo shoot I really wanted to portray that. I wanted to have a bottom-up lighting for her. You really need somebody who can carry it well for it to look good. And this was really the lighting that I really liked for the photo shoot, and I did exactly this. And as you can see, my final result looks pretty similar to how it looks right here in the screen. Although I'm going to talk you through the gear I use and why, the gear you have is already probably more than enough to start you off in the journey of fashion photography. In order to stay competitive, your images must be top-notch. This means you must learn how to edit well. I'm going to be showing you my full post-processing workflow that I use for all my images.
A big part of fashion photography is the retouching, and when she gets into the retouching section, she's going to give you the files that she's working on. So not only do you get to see her take the pictures, you actually get those files yourself, and then you can follow along in Photoshop and edit those pictures to perfection as well. That's personally how I learn. I can't just watch someone use software, I need to do it myself.
It's important that you know how to do everything manually, but I will also show you the plugins and actions I use to fast track my workflow.
One of the perks of buying this tutorial is that you will be invited to a secret Facebook group with Shavonne herself, as well as everyone else who has purchased this tutorial. This is going to be an amazing group of fashion photographers all over the world. We've done other groups like this in the past. They are extremely helpful and in many cases very valuable. I've seen a lot of work getting passed around within these groups. I think you're really going to appreciate it.
If you've just dabbled in fashion photography, or maybe you've never even explored this genre, this is a great starting point.
When I was first starting out, I made tons of mistakes along the way. There were a lot of things I did not understand how to do and how it worked. I hope that this tutorial helps you skip those mistakes and start off at a better point than I did.